Hey folks, today we're going to make use of those leftover turkeys. This is utilizing the turkey breast, and honestly it tastes like chicken. Really can't tell the difference, but this is so good, it's so much better than the turkey on day one. Here's a look at the ingredients we're going to use. There's that leftover turkey breast, just some tortillas, avocado, an onion, some cilantro, and we added some cheese as well. This is so good that I can see making it with chicken just on a regular basis. I would say turkey, but we don't cook turkey on a regular basis or stock it. But chicken would be just as good on this recipe. First thing I'm going to do is take about half of the chicken breast, and it's got the tenderloin still in it. This turkey was fried, so you can see some of that Cajun butter that was injected. Anything that's a little hard spot from the frying, go ahead and chop that off. Any of the skin, go ahead and chop it off and remove it. And we want to dice this thing down to about 1/4 inch dices. I like to cut it in lengths like that, then turn it, and then just dice it up. Makes it nice and simple using a sharp knife. And if you're new to cooking, notice how my fingertips are pulled back. That's so that when the knife comes down, there's no way that your fingertips are going to get cut. So I thought I needed a little bit more chicken, so just cut off a little bit more. There's no measurements for this recipe. This is just purely what's left in the refrigerator and what seems to work well. And frankly, anytime you put red onions, avocado, and cilantro together on anything, it is really, really good. We're fortunate to have a good bit of Hispanic, specifically Mexican food trucks in the area that cook really good, authentic Mexican street tacos. And that's what they use, red onions, cilantro, and avocado, and it's just absolutely wonderful. I'm using a red onion for this because I think it has a little bit better flavor when you eat it raw. But if you have a white onion or a sweet yellow onion, that's fine. It works just, I don't say as well, but pretty much just as well. And the red gives it a little extra color too, and we eat with our eyes, and the colorful food just looks fun. I've talked about this before. The way I dice an onion is I cut it in half and then cut it down into slices. Not quite a julienne slice, it's not that thin. And then just turn it sideways and chop it, and that gives me just a nice dice. A lot of chefs will cut into the onion and then dice it. It's kind of hard to describe what they do, but this method works for me, whatever method works for you. Again, just notice my fingertips are not in the way where they can get cut, and when I have to do an overcut, I just push the knife down with my hand with my knife on the top of the blade. Again, this is all if you're new to cooking. We just don't want you to cut yourself, and using a sharp knife will be better for you. You're much more likely to cut your fingers with a dull knife because you have to push down with more force. Now I'm dicing up the cilantro. If you're not familiar with it, cilantro is the flower part of the coriander plant. Coriander is the seed of it. Totally different, same plant, completely different flavors. And bunch it up and then slice it. That way you get it's just an easier way to slice everything. Now notice how I took the avocado pit off. Just pop it off with your fingertips. That way you're not grabbing it. Your fingers are not near the blade. Kind of hard to get cut that way. Scoop it out with a spoon, and then we will just slice it up. Once we get all our vegetation and meat sliced up, then we will start to cook the chicken. And then we will assemble everything. Fan that out. It looks nice and pretty if anybody's watching. I still can't pronounce this spice. It's made by Suzanne Goya. Anito. Please somebody tell me how to pronounce that. All I know is it's a Hispanic spice that has a lot of goodness in it, ton of flavor, very mild. We tried it on one of our earlier recipes a few weeks ago, and it was so delicious. I want to put this in every meal. So we're just going to put a little olive oil, or cooking oil, or olive oil, it doesn't matter, in our pan to saute these. The turkey's already cooked, so we're not cooking it, we're just really heating it up. Throw the spice in and just let it saute for a few minutes to heat it back up. And if somebody can please tell me how to pronounce this spice, please do so. Makes everything orange, nice and colorful. Ever since I tried this spice a few weeks ago, making one of our shows on, I forget the name of it, but anyway, I've been hooked on the spice ever since. Now we're going to toast our tortillas. I'm just going to wrap them up in foil and throw them in an oven at 180 degrees. It just heats them up, dry heat, makes them nice and toasty, makes them less bland, I guess you would say. If you're in a hurry, you can just throw these in the microwave for about 10 seconds. And it makes it nice, soft, and pliable. But we're going to go an extra step and make sure these tacos are exceptionally good. So one taco is out, or one tortilla is out, and we're just going to load it up. Try not to overload. It's very, very easy to do. It just really doesn't hold as much filling as, as much as I want it to. And we'll fold that. I forgot the cheese, so we'll add that. I'm using mozzarella for one reason only. It's what I had in the refrigerator. If I was to do this again, I would use cheddar or some sort of Mexican blend. And I'm pressing these down. You're not going to hurt it. Later, we're going to press it into the pan. So I'm going to make the rest of these. I'm doing these in batches of 3. Now, if you just stopped at this point, the tacos would be excellent. Lots of flavor, really, really good. But we're going to toast them in the pan, and that's going to kick the flavor up an extra few notches. So if you've got an extra few minutes, it's absolutely worth the effort. Put a little cooking oil in your pan. Not olive oil, but vegetable oil has a much higher smoke point. And just place them into your pan. And notice I'm pressing them down a little bit. That's so that every bit of the tortilla is in contact with the pan. That's going to give us a better sear. And I don't care how good your pan is, there's always going to be hot spots. It's going to be hotter in the middle with a small eye. And I use the back eye instead of the front big eye only because I have small children and it's just a less chance of getting burned. After 2 or 3 minutes, just check them. When you get some golden brown on them like that, it's time to flip them. And now so serve them up. I like to squeeze a little bit of lime juice on them. These things are absolutely excellent. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and happy post-Thanksgiving.